Hello, just making a wee video here of how I make my cardboard bricks for winter fuel. I use two 45-gallon buckets. One to soak the cardboard and one to express the water. So we've filled one 45-gallon bucket with cardboard that's already been prepared, cut into 2-inch squares, and the other bucket there, the other buckets are waiting for. I'll have to wait a day. I'll be back to see what it's like. Right, I'll show you the form that I use. It's a standard paper mache brick maker. Sorry, I've only got one hand here, and as you can see, it's been used last year. So hold on, and basically it's a standard paper maker that the handles have been taken off and slots have been cut with an angle grinder. If you know somebody with an angle grinder, just get to cut 1/2-inch slots where the rods go down, and there's a purpose for that. The other tools are a jack, an old screwdriver, an old scraper, and a pair of pliers, and a margarine tub for picking up stuff. Now you'll also need a jig to go on top of the bucket, and this is for you to use the jack. That's the jig made out of old pallet wood, bolted together, and give you the sizes. Now my jig is roughly 17 inches wide by 19 inches tall, and you'll see that it's just old pallet wood, one top, one bottom, and 4 sides bolted together. Now the other thing you'll need is an old drill with a paint stirrer on it, and this bucket of cardboard has been soaking for a couple of days, so we're going to get a whirl. Just to let you see. Sorry about the camera, I'm supposed to have somebody to help me, but now you'll notice that I've added to the form. I've put a block of wood in here, just screwed it in at the bottom. That's for pressing and there's a couple of blocks of wood under the form itself, but I'll show you that. But you just fill it up with that's it now been stirred. It's like a bit like porridge consistency, and you pop it in there and give it an initial press down. Take it out, whap some more in. Don't worry if it spills out of the top of the thing, it's all going in the bucket. So normally it's slightly a bit sloppy, that I'd like it a bit more, less water in it, but this is just to show you. Depending on what size of jack you've got, you just get a block of wood that fits in there. Grab your jack. Grab your jack and pop it on top of that block and do a bit of pumping. I was saying about the form itself, there's two bits of scrap wood there, just it doesn't matter if it's the right size or not, and they're just bolted into the holes that the handles came out of, and that stops your bottom feet curling up under the pressure. That's all it is. And before you take your brick out of the form, just give it a wee bit of a tamp with a brick. There's the brick out of the form. Don't worry about the edges, just, and then in with your old scraper and just make sure the edges are straight. And as I said, the reason for that is that when they dry, they stack wonderfully, and you've no problem. And that's two bricks done. These bricks are quite thin because there's too much water in the bucket, but doesn't bother. Just fill it up twice, but they do get thicker if there's less water. So actually makes quite a big brick. Tell you, when you've compressed it down, just tip up the form and leave it on in that manner, and it will allow the water on the top to disperse. From start to finish, as I said, it's a little bit too sloppy for me, but and don't worry about the excess falling in the bucket, because you're going to use that bucket for soaking the cardboard anyway. This is brick number 5 since I started. Just, as I said, don't worry about the excess teeth that comes out the sides. Right. Pull it up twice. And back in with it. That'll do, that should be enough room. Get the old jack in. This is a 6-ton jack. And I've got, but you could use a scissor jack, but you're better with the little knacker scissor jack. Eventually it'll strip the screws. So you're better with a, they're not bad, they're only about 15 quid from eBay, so it doesn't matter. And down to the bits I showed you, it won't go any further anyway, that we cut out with the angle grinder. There we go. Out with a block and just tip it up for a couple of seconds to get rid of the surface water. And right, okay. Your old screwdriver, tip it up, and your thing should come out with reasonable ease. Not hard. Alright, just scrape. That's what the old scraper's for. Scrape it up the sides if there's any into the form, just to sort of keep it reasonably. Scrape it down the edges, and in with the old tamper. Then you should be able to, with your thumb, just pull it out. It might be a bit stiff, but you pull it out like that, off with it, and then in with the scraper again. And as I said, the reason why I go around with the scraper is once they're dry, they stack perfectly. And that's it. You put it on that could be 2 bits of wood, as long as you keep the bottom off the ground. and allow the air to circulate. They'll be dry enough to store in one of these plastic boxes in about 5 days. Depends, if it's a bit sunnier it'll be even earlier, but you'll see them change colour. Okay, that's half a bucket of water in the slop bin and half a bucket of the reason why we've still got the stirrer in there is you can't get to the bottom, but just give it a bit of stir. But that bucket now, there'll be about 5 bricks left in that, and that will fill the water up, and then you put your next bag of prepared cardboard into this bucket. No mess.